Very peaceful. It's about 10 to 1 in the afternoon. I'm absolutely knackered. I'm absolutely cream crackered. Yesterday I cleared. There's out the front. It isn't just that grass grows. They have this grass, this like a weed that comes through, and it's got like little thorns on it, so you can't even walk on the front land. That's in front of the. I'm not going to walk over there. In front of that fence, so if you notice there's a fence across the front, just in front of the dog. Well, I cut all the grass back. About half the land at the front. God almighty. You know, in the sun as well, so that I'm going to get this done. So that's like round about now, but yesterday. And so I've got some big piles of grass out there that's got to go. The strimmer wouldn't touch it. Well, he would, but you know, there was so much of it. It was just pie. It was going all around the strimmer blade. So I had to use a electric chainsaw and sweep it across the floor to get it up. That worked quite well actually, but obviously all the bending down killed me, you know, for all that period of time. Yeah, so then in the afternoon, went, okay, then let's go down to the farm. Took the lad down there, let's go and have a speak. Your mum who's down at the farm. Now they call it geet yang, which is to cut the rubber trees. That's one of the jobs she does at the family farm. And so I went down there, and because her sister was sick, she had to do it on her own. She had to do we took in lots and lots of trees, right? She had to do it all herself. So I've never done it before, and I do some jobs to do with it. Like you have to put an acid in the rubber pot. The rubber that comes out goes into some rubber pots that attach to each tree, and I sometimes go down there, and I'll just go around and follow them around putting acid in. And what it does, it thickens it up so it becomes like a rubber ball, right? And then they can put it in bags and take it to the market every week. They have I think they have 2 market days. They have a little rubber market nearby in the farmland. So I go around to that. But I spoke to a local guy here. He's an Italian guy in the village, and he's known for the fact that he geet yang himself, right? He cuts the rubber himself. It's his missus's. I think it's his missus's trees, and it's his family's trees, and he's with her. They've got a house and everything. It's like, oh yeah, that's one of their incomes. I think he must have something else going on, because they're not poor. You know what I mean? It's like, and he doesn't go away either. So I met his mum and dad once. Came over. They looked like they're about 60, and I think they might be quite wealthy or something like that. Italians. So yeah, so I got talking to him last year about it, and I was like, oh yeah, apparently you cut rubber and that. He says, yeah. He's not the full ticket, to be honest. Doesn't speak the best English, even at his age. Like, he looks like he's about 50, something like that. And always another thing about him as well, when 95% of the area is stopped wearing masks and going along with all the ridiculous COVID shit, he's still doing it. He'll be outside. I think they could only call it the word virtue signalling, right? He'll stand outside with the biggest mask on you've ever seen outside the school to pick his kid up. You know what I mean? And crazy. I see it there picking ass up. So yeah, so it's like a bit of a strange case. I got talking to him one day. I said, tell me about it, and I said, would you mind if I'll come out with you? Because he said he doesn't do it at night. So do you mind if I come out there and not watch you do it and see how you get on with doing it, And he didn't really go for that. I was surprised, really. Obviously, didn't want any friends in the area or anything like that. He just wants to keep himself to himself. Fair enough, no problem. So I got talking to him about it, and he said it took him 2 years to get to the point where he's good at it and he can get it right. He was telling me all the pitfalls. You can cut too deep and this and that. Can wreck a tree and everything. I thought, oh bloody hell. And that's why talking to him, I decided I'm not going to do it. So because I don't be responsible for wrecking a tree, and apparently it's so difficult. Now my girlfriend started doing it, and I remember her dad saying when I got talking, he says, oh well, her sister's the best at it, right? But Bon, she's not that brilliant at it, my girlfriend. And I thought, bloody hell, it must be difficult then, because she's been doing it for a while now, right? So I was down there yesterday, and she says, I'm going down to go and geek yang now. And I said, all right, well, I'll come down with you, and I'll watch you, and I'll just be with you. And so she said, do you want to help me? You know, because I would like you to help me, because I've got a lot to do here. I'm going to have to do 2 people's work tonight. I'm going to be here for hours. And I said, well, yeah, of course, just show me what you want me to do. I'll have a try. But I was like, I don't want to make any problems. So she gives me, she had a cutter, this special cutter that you cut around the tree in a spiral fashion downwards. And I started doing it. I started off slow. By the end of it, I was like, shump, straight off. Done, bump, bump. Got to worked out the order in which to do things the most proficiently, or whatever. And at the end of it, she was like, "Oh, you can do this." And I says, "Yeah, you know, because like I'm a tradesman, so I sort of know how to do. Like, you know, I can handle a chisel, the depth of a chisel if I was doing something. You know what I mean? If I was maybe cutting a lock in, or so, not that I'd cut locks in, but if I was doing it, there'd be something that I could do is know how deep the chisel was and things like that, and just have a good feel for things, how things work." As where I can only assume that this guy who from Italy, who wears a mask all the time, I bet he's still wearing that mask at the school now. I'm going to find out today when I pick the little one up, right? He'll be there, right? And let's see whether he's still wearing that mask, right? After all this time, because some people here still are wearing masks. I bet he's one of them, right? I'd love to talk to him about it, but you know, you got to be polite, haven't you? So yeah, I've got a feeling that guy was just a dickhead. Right, if he's saying it took him 2 years to get to the point where he's proficient at it, you know what I mean? And it took me like 1 session, but bloody hell, I'm knackered. Because you have to put, when you're putting the pressure on with your hands and your thumb onto the different parts of the tool as you're doing it, it's muscles you've not used before. So sometimes if you mess around with a new mobile phone that's bigger, you'll get suddenly your thumb starts hurting because you're using muscles that you've never actually moved your thumb in that way before, you know, so. Yeah, nightmare. But so I worked all the front of this land first in the morning, right? And then I went over there and I ended up doing that for, I think must have been there for a good hour and a half. I should have been there for hours doing that. Then here she's faster than me. But yeah, so it's funny. Right at the end, I was absolutely smashing it. I was just like whoom, whoom, whoom to every tree, you know. Yeah. So I've learned a bit. So there you go. Now I can cut rubber trees. Right, brilliant. Right, let's get on with the day.